Thus have I heard. The Blessed One once stayed in the castle of Lanka, which is situated on the peak of Mount Malaya on the great ocean, and which is adorned with flowers made of jewels of various kinds. He was with a large assembly of bhikshus and with a great multitude of bodhisattvas, who had come together from various Buddha lands. The Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, headed by the Bodhisattva Mahamati, were all perfect masters of the various samadhis, the tenfold self-mastery, the 10 powers, and the 6 psychic faculties. They were anointed by the hands of all the Buddhas. They all well understood the significance of the objective world as the manifestation of their own mind. They knew how to maintain various forms, teachings, and disciplinary measures according to the various mentalities and behaviors of beings. They were thoroughly versed in the 5 dharmas, the 3 svabhavas, the 8 vijnanas, and the twofold non-atman. At that time, the Blessed One, who had been preaching in the palace of the King of Sea Serpents, came out at the expiration of 7 days and was greeted by an innumerable host of Nagakanyas, including Shakra and Brahma, and looking at Lanka on Mount Malaya, smiled and said, "By the Tathagatas of the past, who were arhats and fully enlightened ones, this truth was made the subject of their discourse at that castle of Lanka on the mountain peak of Malaya. The truth realizable by noble wisdom in one's inmost self, which is beyond the reasoning knowledge of the philosophers as well as the state of consciousness of the Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas. I too would now, for the sake of Ravana, overlord of the Yakshas, discourse on this truth." Inspired by the spiritual power of the Tathagata, Ravana, lord of the Rakshasas, heard his voice. Indeed, the Blessed One, surrounded and accompanied by an innumerable host of Nagakanyas, including Shakra and Brahma, came out of the palace of the King of Sea Serpents. And looking at the waves of the ocean and also at the mental agitations going on in those assembled, he thought of the ocean of the Alaya Vijnana, where the evolving Vijnanas, like the waves, are stirred by the wind of objectivity. While he was standing there, thus absorbed in contemplation, Ravana saw him and uttered a joyous cry, saying, "I will go and request of the Blessed One to enter into Lanka. For this long night he would probably profit, do good, and gladden the gods as well as human beings." Thereupon Ravana, lord of the Rakshasas, with his attendants, riding in his floral celestial chariot, came up where the Blessed One was, and having arrived there, he and his attendants came out of the chariot. Walking around the Blessed One 3 times from left to right, they played on a musical instrument, beating it with a stick of blue Indra sapphire, and hanging the lute at one side, which was inlaid with the choicest lapis lazuli and supported by a ribbon of priceless cloth, yellowish-white like priyangu. They sang with various notes, such as Sahasya, Rishabha, Gandhara, Daivata, Nishada, Madhyama, and Kaishika, which were melodiously modulated in grama, murchana, and so on. The voice in accompaniment with the flute beautifully blended with the measure of the gata. The truth treasure, whose principle is the self-nature of mind, has no selfhood, niratmyam, stands above all reasoning, and is free from impurities. It points to the knowledge attained in one's inmost self. Lord, show me here the way leading to the truth.